All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. It's your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. And this is another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? And let me tell y'all, we have a lot for you guys to cover. Let me put this banner up so you can see what's on the docket. Child, we got a lot. And I have a special surprise for you. Later tonight, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, you need to come on back. Me and Jesse Wu will be reunited and it feels so good. Me and Jesse Wu will be back because we have to talk because Love is Blind's Tyler and Ashley are divorcing. Just 2 hours ago, it was released that Ashley says, I didn't come to this decision quickly. It was a very difficult decision, but I will be divorcing Tyler. Told you so. I mean, I'm not saying that to her. I'm kind of like saying to like anybody who's like, well, I'm just saying, Jesse Wu and I broke it earlier. You can go to my page. You can see she and I did a joint video where we did a background check on Tyler. One of the things, this is from Love is Blind. So if you haven't seen the most recent of Love is Blind season, you may not know who we're talking about, but I'm going to just get this one out the way because we're excited. So you can tell yourself, come on back around here at 8 p.m. I want to give myself some chance to pull any of the court documents, but she and I basically did a deep dive into Tyler. Tyler was the guy on Love is Blind who tells his fiance that he was a sperm donor to a woman. And as the sperm donor, gave her 3 kids. Come to find out, lies. He did it to this girl. She was his best friend, and she is a gay lady. She's a gay lady. And the gay lady was married to another woman. They were trying to have a child. But he didn't just jizz in a cup. No, he did it to her, according to the woman's ex-wife. They were intimate. He gets pregnant with one. And then the 2 wives ended up divorcing. He and his bestie mess around again, and he gets her pregnant with twins. And he continues this narrative that, oh, he was just a sperm donor. But I found the court documents, and the court documents show he actually was fighting for custody. And there's a child support, custody, and visitation case that is pending actually in Maryland courts. What sperm donor goes to court and files for custody? One who's not. So that's just the small level of lies. Oh, I also discovered that just before he went on Love is Blind, he got evicted from his apartment. So that man was absolutely positively going to be marrying something because he needs somewhere to stay. That man was a hobosexual. So Tyler's a hobosexual. He don't get all the letters. He don't get all the contents. He's hobosexual. Hold on, let me see these comments that are rolling in, guys. And we're going to go through this docket. Let me slide my computer on over. I'm at my mom and them's house, y'all, because Houston is tripping. Houston play too much. It is snowing in Houston. And the last time that happened to me, my power went out. And the power went out, and then it got so cold that the pipes bursted. So that was treacherous. So I'm not home for a while till life gets better. Hold on a second. Yay. Okay. I see my different friends from ATL. We've got Alpharetta, Milton, Georgia in the house. No snow up here. Okay. Glad you guys are staying warm. It says Tyler is looking for a new couch. Yeah. I mean, if you lonely, I always think of those women. I've been watching these like YouTube catfish videos of these like lonely older women. Listen, if you're a lonely older woman, instead of getting scammed by some Nigerian over there, why don't you just slide in Tyler's DMs? He's gonna need some place, and he can keep you warm. He look like he can really do it. He can keep you warm. All right. So let's go ahead and let's start with ASAP Rocky. ASAP. So today, ASAP Rocky's trial started today. Let me let you know what he's been accused of and what we've learned so far. Also, this trial is supposed to be captured on television when the trial starts. Right now, today was simply jury selection. So they don't televise jury selection for good reason. People who don't get selected in the jury, we don't want them to be harassed. We don't want their faces to be televised. And we don't want people to act a fool and try and say things to disqualify themselves from the jury simply because they don't want to, they don't want to be on TV. They want to be featured. So Yeah, ASAP Rocky is going to be, here we go. I'm going to start to share. He's going to be, and here's what the case is over. So basically, there was the ASAP group. Hold on one moment. I'm going to get you guys some visuals here. Get you some visuals. Here we go. I love how people are like, get your documents together. See, that's the difference between live and recording. Also, shut up. Yeah. So ASAP Rocky is being accused of shooting at a former friend. So he was in this group, the ASAP group. There's like ASAP Ferg, ASAP, a few people. And this particular ASAP, which nobody cares about because he didn't do anything with his career, that guy is who's claiming that ASAP shot at him 3 times, like dance, be dance. Not that he said those things, but in that type of way, and that the gunshots grazed his knuckles. Here is what I find to be the most egregious of the allegations of this guy. So this guy, and I'll get his name for those of you guys who care. It is what is it? ASAP. Who is this? I don't care. What's his name? Hold on. Oh, nobody cares. All right, you can put it in the chat if you know his name. But this particular ASAP gentleman, what he's claiming is that, the backstory is that they were in a group together, but that ASAP Rocky, he basically became the most successful of them all. And one of the other members passed away and needed help paying for his funeral. So this particular guy, the alleged victim, had sent ASAP Rocky a number of nasty messages, basically saying, you've left us behind. You Hollywood now. Shame on you for not paying for this guy's funeral. You should have, blah, 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 called him every name under the sun. So when ASAP seen him on the street, he was like, oh, you got something to say? You got something to say? Bop, bop, bop. Mind you, ASAP actually had paid for this guy's funeral. This particular member just wasn't aware of it. Why? Because it's not your business. I don't need to announce to you that I'm paying for my friend Kelly's funeral. That's between me and Kelly's family. So there was animosity between them because of this. But here's where the allegations go a bit awry. So guy claims that ASAP shot towards him. It grazed his knuckles. So he never goes to the hospital. What does he do instead? He says that the next day, he returns to the scene of the crime and picks up 3 bullet shells and walks them to the police station and turns them into the police. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the evidence. Plus, there is some video clip. I'll play the clip for you guys tomorrow. There's some video clip that's supposed to be from around the corner, a building around the corner, that shows the two of them arguing and some movement. But when I think of these Harlem dudes that are in this rap group and that this guy wants to literally go back to the scene, pick up the shells, and then tow them over to the police station, that just seems like the opposite of everything that I would expect from a Harlem rapper. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. Oh, and one of the other fun facts that we've discovered is in the preliminary hearings on this. So what happens is there are something called motions in limine. Motions in limine are basically motions to limit what comes before the jury. Well, one of the discussions was, what would Rihanna be referred to if she's going to be referred to at all in this case? Here's why it's relevant. When they're picking a jury, they want to make sure they don't pick jurors who are super duper Rihanna fans, who would never, ever be able to find her husband, her baby daddy, her whatever he is to her, guilty. So ASAP's attorney said, well, Rihanna's his wife, and the judge is like, oh, okay, what do you want her to be referred to? He said his wife. You'll see the prosecutor objects and says, well, they're not legally married. I did not know that before. I didn't know. So apparently they're not legally married. So the judges, so the prosecutor's like, they're not legally married. I don't want her to be referred to that, be referred to as that. And ASAP's attorney says, but they're common law. And I want you to see what happens in that exchange here. I'm going to play that for you now. My mom about to walk in, y'all, so who knows what's about to happen next. Here we go. It could get very loud in this place.
I will ask the jurors whether they or anyone close to them have either been accused of or been the victim of a crime of violence. I'll ask them if they are aware of or do they know either the defendant or who his is it his girlfriend?
His wife.
How
I think it's his common law wife, Your Honor. They have two children together, so
all right. So I should characterize it as common law wife?
Or just wife. It's fine. However you'd like, but yes, they're
No,
not. I mean, they're common law husband
I'll
and wife.
call
They
her
live together.
whatever you want me to call her. You want wife? Okay.
Your Honor, I think if they're not legally married, we prefer that she not be referred to as his wife and that she is just referred to as his significant other or mother of his children.
Are they legally married anywhere?
I don't know, but
All right.
certainly
If they're
they're
legally
common law
married-
husband and wife.
If they're legally married anywhere,
Yeah.
there's no common law marriage that's recognized in
Just
California.
call what you want. I don't, whatever. So-
If they are legally married anywhere, she will be his wife.
Okay.
If they are not legally married anywhere, she is his
Significant other. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, as of now, she is being referred to as his significant other, y'all. I thought so too. I'm looking at y'all's comments. Here's the thing. Oh, let me go back to that one of the starred comments. Amy says, I thought they got married in Rihanna's homeland of Barbados. I thought that too. Here's the thing. You can get married. You can have a ceremony. Let me tell you, I was going to do this. You can have a ceremony there, but if you don't file the paperwork here in America, then it's not recognized. So for me, you guys know my story. Most of you guys do. Someone actually asked me to give a 1-year update, and I'm happily going to work on that. Of like where I am now with dating, with life, with all of the things. But with my situation, I ended up having to call it off for financial reasons. He was financially irresponsible. And I actually wanted to get married in Mexico in part because I told him I wasn't going to file the American paperwork until he got his act together and showed certain things. That was before he left me with $15.37 in the bank. That's a different story. But I say that to say, this might have been smart of Rihanna. Because number one, I mean, yes, you can have a prenup, but most people don't realize prenup protects what you had before you got married, not what you garner during the marriage. So you need a postnup for that. And that can be really tricky with negotiating when you're on a level like Rihanna, because she's always making things. Yes, she had Fenty before, but you're going to have subdivisions. You're going to pull out, you're going to add makeup, and then there's lingerie, and then there's Savage Fenty, and there's all of the things. So one of the things that was interesting to me is that actually business-wise, it might have been smarter for Rihanna to not marry him, given what the judge just said. California does not recognize common law. They don't. But what they do recognize is something called palimony. So let me get you the definition for palimony. So I'm speaking it exactly as they do in the States. Palimony is compensation paid by one member of an unmarried couple to another one after they separate. So California recognizes palimony, and that's actually what Mariah Carey did after she was with that billionaire for some years, to be like, hey, run me these millions because you wasted my time and you didn't marry me. Boop. So I say that to say we'll have to stay tuned. This A$AP Rocky trial, he is facing 24 years, up to 24 years. Today, they offered him a plea of 180 days in jail. California time, when it's that type of jail, you do it in the local county jail. And I believe 1 day counts for 3 because the jail is so disgusting, nasty, and all of that. So 180 days, which is 60, it'd be about 2 months. And he said no. So we shall have to stay tuned and see. I mean, it should say common law is ghetto and lazy. It is lazy, though. My issue with common law is because all you have to do is go down to the courthouse and sign a piece of paper. To me, common law is his excuse for not giving me what I deserve. So my concern would be that throughout the marriage, is he giving me the bare minimum? I'm not sure. All right. What else we got here? How do you know if your client is? How do you not know if your client is married or not? Yeah, he knows. Oh, let me see it. Not necessarily in this case. Rihanna has significant wealth over ASAP, and she could lose money if they divorce. She's smart. I agree. I think she is very wise to do that. And I think that man loves her so much. He's like, I don't care. I love you. I love these kids. You make me glow. I make you glow. Come on, girl. Let's do it. And I don't, if I had Rihanna's money, I would likely make that same decision. Because at the end of the day, what do my children feel? But I'm because I'm a lawyer. I mean, I just do the paperwork more than likely. But yeah, she said, "Oh no, not the judge about to slip up and say, baby mama." You were so lenient. Protect that purse first. I know that's right. Thank you. Now he was a model and represents the brand. Sometimes I wonder if he could try to get some money that way. I'm not sure what you mean by that question. I don't think they care about marriage. I don't think so either. But also you have to remember she's Bayesian, you know, from Barbados. They call that Bayesian. And in those other colors, like countries like that, the ones that are like UK based, people will be partners for their entire life. And I don't completely understand that because I don't know a ton about their culture. I did live in London for 6 months, but I know like Bayesian culture, West Indian culture, they will live together. They would be in that same house for 20 years and be just fine and happy go lucky. All right, I'm going to play y'all this quick little cute little video. I'm going to remove this one. I play y'all this little video that tickled me. This was from, pull this down for a second. This was from Jimmy Carter when he died, the funeral that was like last week where you saw Obama basically speak to Bush. This was a deaf lip reader interpreting and reading Obama's lips. Yeah, let's start over.
Good to see you. Thank you. How can we stop what's happening?
Okay. Wait. Watch it again. It tickled me in this terrible news of climate we have right now. Look.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Yep.
How can we stop what's happening?
I love my president. He's still my president. But let's talk inauguration quickly. Let me see. Let me switch this one. Let's talk inauguration quickly. So there was a bunch that's gone on. So first off, they're talking about, oh, he's done so much work in these first few days. Let's get to that. First of all, piles of trash, including purses, were found outside of the arena after Trump's inauguration. Now, that's because, as you may all know, now these arenas where sports are being played, they have these clear purse or clear bag policies. Not only do the bags have to be clear, but they have to be relatively pretty darn small, like smaller than a fanny pack. These people didn't know it because what Trump did was because he knew that the crowd size would be minuscule, like they could not give away those tickets. I have a homegirl who's a lobbyist in DC, and usually like for all the other inaugurations for other people, they get hit up and people are like, can I get you tickets? And she's like, I don't have any. This one, she said they could not give these tickets away. And their excuse was, oh, it's the coldest one that's like ever in like 40 years. Obama's was 27 degrees. This one was like 21. 6 degrees wasn't the problem. The man was the problem. So what Trump did was he moved the inauguration from outdoors, as it's been since forever and ever, to inside this arena. So these people's left it. Now, here's the legal tea. So apparently there was some Louis Vuitton bags. Let me show you. It's just see. Look, y'all.
Nothing this insane in my life. I've been around the world. I've been to a lot of places around the world. I've never seen nothing this insane. This is trash. I see why she left it.
I didn't go inside. I wasn't here early enough, but everyone who was apparently wasn't told that they had to leave their bags, dropped them all. I found a bag with a car key in it, so I was able to contact the person through their college ID.
So sweet.
And I'm waiting to give her car key back.
You would know.
It's unbelievable, man. Just to see how many people would, leave their own belongings here. It's unbelievable. And to see people, I mean, I think this stuff should be donated,
Yeah.
for the people in need. But it's just crazy to see. I mean, you got rotten apples in here. You've got hand warmers, all types of junk.
It just feels weird to see all these bags. People have left a lot of really cute bags all over the place because they couldn't take it into the arena, and now they're probably going to go into the landfill.
So y'all, I didn't want to start a melee yesterday. But the truth of the matter is this: under the law, you can go over there, you can take whatever bag you want, and it is not stealing. You hear me? Not N-O-T. And I want to make sure you understand why, because this is where you come for legal tea. So under the law, the theory is lost or abandoned. If you lose something, like, oh gosh, I lost it, that's one thing. These people didn't lose this. They abandoned it in order to enter the arena. When you abandon property, the moment you abandon it, the next second, someone can take it and it is not theft. They don't have to give it back. They don't have to pay you for it, nothing. So that's how come the difference. Let's compare this to, if you've seen some of those stories in the past where one time there was like an armored car and cash flew out of it as they were driving down the highway, and people got out of their cars and started running around collecting that money. And then the cops came up after those people. That's because that money was lost. It was not intentional. He didn't intentionally leave the money on the side of the road. It was lost. Therefore, by those people coming to get it, that's theft. But had he abandoned it, so let's say the money was wrapped inside of a bunch of, like a brick of Coke, okay? And he's like, oh, the cops are on me, and he throws it out the window. Then if you take that Coke, you can take it. It's abandoned. But you're going to go to jail. But that's my example. So lost or abandoned, anybody could have gone over there, collected those bags, been good to go. Somebody said, I'd never leave my bag anywhere. Amy says, these people are crazy for abandoning their stuff. But yes, I felt like, if I tell them tomorrow, if certain people, it would be create a whole melee. But the people seem to be going and taking it. But that's how come cops weren't over there monitoring it. It's not a crime. That's also why you'll see on crime shows why they go digging people's dumpsters and trash for DNA, because that's considered abandoned property. Your trash is abandoned. All that stuff out there, trash. You see in the caption, it says clear as day, piles of trash, including purses. So once it's abandoned, get your stuff, y'all. Get your stuff. Other thing I wanted to share regarding this is, here we go. This nut bucket. Interestingly, a former TikToker posted this. They said the whole narrative that the ban, this is talking about the TikTok ban and how, so yesterday after the inauguration, Trump said he's going to allow TikTok to continue for 75 more days. Hey guys, let's not forget, Trump is the one who created the ban in the first place. Okay. He got us there. So you don't get credit for starting a fire and then putting it out. You don't get to burn my house down and then come back with a hose and expect me to clap for you. No, I'm gonna whip your tail. You need to go somewhere with that. Let me see if I can find you a clip for that. Hold on one second. I mean, it's really ridiculous. So this TikTok employee was saying, yeah, this was an entire stunt. And then a component of the stunt was that he would, here we go. He'd make these posts. Basically, they were allowed to bring TikTok back if and only if Trump was allowed to look like the hero. That was the impetus of it, including if you went back to your TikTok, one of the things you may have seen on mine, it said, thank you to President Trump, basically, for allowing us to come back. Like, it literally had Trump's name. I said, what kind of, this is ridiculous. So we got a long way to go. Here we go. Yeah, I was like, this is going to be terrible. I had to close the app. I got so aggravated. I said, because this is all kind of stupid. Here we go. Hold on, I want to post this in front for you. Why is it so hot? Sorry, guys. This weather, this storm that we got going on here, it's got the temperatures going every which way. And I'm hot. Might be having hot flashes. Who knows? Was that it? Mm-mm. All right, that's taking too long. So I will leave that. Let me share this one. Joyanne Reed says, Donald Trump's fundamental advantage is that almost no one remembers anything that he says. It says, Miriam wrote, reminder for anyone who sees Trump as a savior, he lobbied to have TikTok banned in the first place. And now he's positioning himself as the hero by unbanning it. Total theatrics. Let me see if y'all gonna see this. Yeah, total theatrics. Let's not give this credit. This is the orange man was checked at National Cathedral from the altar. Oh, yes, there was a priest. He had he can't do nothing to and I love that. So there was a priest that, and here we go. Oh, I'll play it.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world. Amen.
Amen. All right. Amen. We got it. Amen. Sorry, guys. I got ADD. I got to do better. I got to do a lot better. Here we go. But yes, I wanted you guys to see that clip because I thought it was really powerful. I need to clarify something for you. So one of the things that he did on his first day that people were talking about that I felt like they did not give proper context to is they said that that he closed down the CBP app. And I want to make sure you guys understand what that is. They showed clips of immigrants at the border who were crying, who were crying terribly as a result of this. And it wasn't really clear, like, okay, what exactly are we talking about here? And here we go. Here we go. Is it on this one? And mandating everybody go back to the office. Hold on. Oh yeah. So here we go. I'll share this one with you guys. But it has a variety of the different things. But the gist of what that app did when that app was closed, and it said people were literally standing outside of the gates to enter America, and that at 1 p.m. those people, they'd been sleeping there for days, plurals, weeks, etc. Let me be very clear. What we're referring to are asylum seekers. We're not talking to illegal people. Illegal people don't wait in line. We're talking to asylum seekers. We're talking to people who are going to be killed because they're gay, people who are going to be killed because they're women, people who are running and fleeing from gang violence in their communities, a variety of things. There are political asylum seekers. So America, the Constitution of America says there must be a process for asylum seekers to be able to apply, for y'all to track their locations and track where they're located. By that, what I mean is they apply, they say, this is where I'm going to, this is where I'm going to be staying, etc. It's also for parents who were separated from their kids previously, or kids who've been separated from their parents, to go and say, I'd like asylum. I'd like to be reunited with my person. These are not criminals. Criminals don't wait in line to be fingerprinted. Criminals don't sleep outside for days to reach justice. So I just really want to be clear on that. The people who were out there crying is because those were asylum seekers. All right. He also had an order, though, that said there's only going to be 2 sexes. And Caitlyn Jenner said, oh, congratulations, Mr. President, after he came in. And then right after he came in, he did this. You're Bruce now. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Brucey. You're back to Bruce. How does that feel? Okay, so he turned you, Caitlyn, right on back to Bruce. Bruce, go to the boys' room. Get out there. You won't be in Planet Fitness anymore in the girls' locker room, huh, Bruce? Because your president said you can't come in there anymore. You got to take your little dingle wingle over into the boys' room now, Bruce. How do you like that? And then I want to speak to this before we get off this topic. Now, one thing that's interesting, I want to make sure you guys are familiar with birthright citizenship. Let me see. He's got this is the TikTok part. This one is talking about citizenship of undocumented immigrants. But let me be very clear. It says Trump signed an executive order addressing birthright citizenship. The move will almost certainly face swift legal pushback. Trump, who has frequently criticized birthright citizenship on the campaign trail, called the concept absolutely ridiculous. Now, it says birthright citizenship is guaranteed by the 12th Amendment. That was actually to protect slaves, because otherwise there was no way for slaves to be considered citizens. But I want you to be aware of how birthright citizenship actually, it's not the immigrants. It's not the illegal immigrants that are taking advantage of birthright citizenship. It's the rich folks. How do I know? Because I'm friends with them. So here's what they do. I go to my little islands all the time. Go to Barbados, go to St. Kitts, go to Nevis. So I have a homeboy. I won't say who, I won't say where. And he was like, oh, yeah, I've been in the United States for the last 2 weeks. I was like, oh, what for? He was like, oh, I had a baby. I was like, yeah, but you're super rich in your island. He was like, no, but y'all have this thing where y'all don't care who it is. If they are born in on US soil, they're American. So what we do, the rich people in the islands, the rich people around the world, have their kids come over here when they're like 6-7 months pregnant, have their baby over here. They automatically get citizenship. Then they go back to their country where they rich, go to boarding school, go to this, that, and the third. But then when it's time for college, what do they get? The fucking FAFSA. They get federal money, Pell Grants, etc., to put them through school. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem. It's not the immigrants that come over, the immigrant kids that come over. Them people are so scared. They don't want any paperwork or paper trail. So let me be clear. Those are not the problems. It got so bad. The Obama administration created a rule that said you can't come back to America till you pay your medical bill, because they were coming over here having free babies, y'all. Rich people, free babies, U.S. hospitals, then getting on a plane and never paying their medical bill. Because let's think about it. If your intention is for us to not use U.S. services again, because we rich, we just come over here for vacation. We don't need it again till my baby 18 finna go to college. Then they're crippling the U.S. system with medical bills for your vacation baby. Let me know in the chat if you were aware of that being a use that rich people have. And here's the thing, those kids then get dual citizenship. So you get citizenship of whatever your island is plus U.S. citizenship. Oh, baby, I was hot. And I know I lived in DR, and one of my homegirls in DR, she was big as heck, bless her heart, because she was pregnant. And well, she was big regardless, but that's fine. And she was talking about how she was so happy she was fat, because if she wasn't fat, they wouldn't have let her on the plane, because they know people do this from everywhere, DR and everywhere, that if you look like you're pregnant, they won't even let you get on the plane for fear that you're going to stay. Because remember, those people that come from other countries that want to stay, they usually have a 3-month visa. So if you come in month 6 or 7, you good, you're Gucci. Have your baby and go. Let me see some of these comments. Yes, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm over here bringing the legal tea. This is Girl Is That Legal with attorney Simone. Always come over here whenever you're ready for the legal tea. And don't forget, you can always go to my website, which is, here it is here. It's SimoneRedwine.com. I got it down here below, SimoneRedwine.com. You can schedule a consultation with me anywhere in the nation if you've got a legal dilemma, and we're going to work through it together, and we're going to have a good time doing it. So whether it's, you want to file something in small claims court yourself, but you need someone to review it for you and kind of help you get situated. Maybe you're thinking of leaving your job, or your job is giving you an offer and you're like, hey, is this a good offer? You can send it over to me. Here's the thing. You just click book hire attorney Simone. Consults start at $149 for 30 minutes. And then also you can come on back up. You can get my book, my ebook, which is Background Checks 101, Beginner's Guide to Finding Out Who the Heck You're Really Dealing With. Oh, and this is what we're going to use. Come back to this channel, 8 p.m. Central tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Jessie Wu will be dual broadcasting, because Ashley from Love is Blind decided she is going to leave Tyler, and we're going to dig back up into that tea. So, yeah, so that was it. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, we did this one already, the TikTok component of it. All right, moving on. Now we got, I need to show y'all this. This is a clip. A parent slaps a principal, sends her flying after being asked to control her child. Now we're going to watch this clip. I'm going to make it big for you. I'm going to take my big face off so you can see this video. I want you to see the clip, and then we're going to talk about whether or not the school was wrong for arresting the mama versus it being considered like a self-defense. Parent slaps principal. Here we go.
Monday, the principal at Iberville Elementary was watching a basketball game when police say she noticed young children walking onto the court while the game was being played. You can see the principal getting up so the little kids didn't get hurt. At least 2 times she pulls the kids back while the game is in play. At some point, Plaquemine Police Chief Stephen Angolio says words were exchanged, and the mom was having none of it.
The principal sitting in a chair, the lady's walking by with 3 kids in tow and one of her friends. And the principal asked her, hey, keep your kids off the basketball court, disrupts the whole game. She obviously took offense with that, and you see her move in on the teacher puts her hand up to kind of keep her off, and she just punched her, knocked her out of the chair.
Surveillance footage in the school's gym obtained by the WAFBI team shows the parent hit the principal. She's knocked to the ground.
This wasn't excitement from the competition. You made a bad call on my child or anything. This is a woman that was there with kids that was disrupting everything. I don't even think she had a child in the game at all. And she wasn't watching her kids. And when somebody told her you need to, she didn't like it.
An Iberville deputy on scene quickly tried to break it up. Tonight, Alicia Parker, the mom seen hitting the principal, is facing felony charges: battery on a school teacher, resisting officers, and disturbing the peace. Another woman who also got involved is also facing charges. Jamisha Godshaw, charged with assault on a school teacher, disturbing the peace, battery of a school teacher, and threatening a public official.
Her cohort was kind of egging.
Let me see if I can start it.
On and made some threats and was cussing people out too.
After the principal was knocked to
what I want you to see
the ground, you can see she grabs a napkin to wipe her face. Police say she had a busted lip and a head injury.
She was taken to the hospital. CAT scans and stuff like that had to be done, and she's okay now. But it was a pretty brutal attack.
With Parker and Godshaw now facing felony charges over the melee, law enforcement in Iberville Parish says this behavior won't be tolerated, especially at a child's basketball game.
You get in a fight at a public event, you're going to jail. Nobody wants to come out and go to 4th of July and Mardi Gras parades and ball games and see that. And I don't blame them. You know, before it was like escort them out, write them a summons or whatever. You get in a fight.
All right. So what I want you guys to be clear about is this. I'm gonna replay and try and pause it at the point when the mom confronts her. This is it. All right. What you can see here is the principal puts her hand up. Hold on. I'm gonna add myself to this a little bit larger so I can kind of help illustrate. The principal literally puts her hand up like this. This is critical. This is critical because you don't smack or hit somebody like this. If you're going to smack or hit, it's going to be this way, right? Because even if you're left-handed, you're going to smack them with this hand. This says, hey, get out of my personal space. I'm concerned about you coming in my space. So some people are saying the teacher was wrong for touching her first. But what I want you to see is that the mom actually leaned into the principal's space. Now, growing up, they always used to be like, well, someone can come in your space. Or it was implied that like it's all about who hits you first. I want you to know, not under the law. Under the law, assault is creating the fear of an imminent threat or harm by threatening behavior. So you can assault someone without hitting them. And in law school, that actually was often part of the bar exam question. It would be some type of interaction where nobody actually touched the person, but they were scared and maybe they jumped back and they got hurt, and that person would be considered assaulting. So I say that here, the moment that mom jumped in her face and did this, that, ladies and gentlemen, is assault. So don't ever, if you stick your finger in someone's face, if you lunge at them, just lunging them, even without the finger, is assault. So if someone blocks you, if someone pushes you because you've done that, then that's that. This woman didn't even do that. She put her hand up. So what I would say is, under the law, mama's in trouble. And our viewer, let me see who it was. Jacqueline said, mama is now banned from all schools. Yep, that's exactly how that happens. You get a trespass. And then that's not fair to your other kids. So you got to keep a cool head. Also, I know it's people like, don't touch my kid. Don't touch my kid. Well, hold on. You're not going to ask, why did you touch my child? You're not going to ask those questions because, first of all, if you're supervising your child, then people probably won't need to touch them. That's the first part. Cash just said it. Cash just said, I see why her children didn't know how to behave, right? Because they mama don't either. And that's what they see. Okay, so it said the principal did put her hands on her as if she was putting her back to keep her out of her face. Then the parent pushed her. I think the parent was wrong. The teacher took a stance. You're right. It was a stance of defense. Again, I feel like it was a strong argument. I'm defending myself. I'm defending myself in the same way that this would be. So if you come over me and I do this, I'm not trying to hit you, even if I do touch you. Also, if I'm putting my hand up like this in a stance of defense and it touches your chest because you lunge at me, that's not my fault, right? That's not my fault. You're in my space. Everyone deserves their own space. Principal puts her hand up because ghetto mom was in her space. Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the punishment, now she's probably gonna get a misdemeanor. I think right now it's felony, but it'll probably be some misdemeanor, assault, trespassing, or whatever. Hey, you need my help? Go to my page, babe. Go to my page. I can help. Somebody said she needs to go to jail. That mom bucked for sure. Oh yeah, that mom was like, oh, what's this, lady finna do? Nothing is what she thought. So that man acted like she was going to continue coming for her regardless. It looked like the principal didn't have a choice. It did look like that. I don't know. For me personally, I get most upset when I'm trying to do something nice or or whatever, something helpful, and you come at me like I'm attacking you. Speaking of, that'll translate into our next story. All right. Next story. Here we are. Look at this cutie patootie. Okay. This marketer created a white AI LinkedIn catfish profile and saw an increase in interviews. Now, these statistics, I think millennials like myself and those, we all know this is a problem, but I think the statistics that she uncovered are huge, and it really helps you put in context how bad this problem really truly is. Here we go. Now, this is a cutie patootie here. This is Allie. Her name is not Allie, it's Aaliyah Jones. It's Aaliyah Jones. Here we go. And it says Aaliyah Jones faced repeated rejections. She created an AI generated white LinkedIn profile with identical skills, and experience. Her aim to test pervasive racial bias in modern hiring processes. The AI-based Emily landed 57.9% of the interviews. Aaliyah got only 8.9%. Both had matching resumes and skills. Hiring managers often ghosted Aaliyah while swiftly responding to Emily. LinkedIn claims commitment to equity, but Aaliyah's experiment exposes systemic hiring biases, which is true. She faced more assignments and critiques than her alter ego. So this is important. By assignments, okay, so those of us millennials, now with the interview process, a lot of times they'll give you tests, literally assignments that they want you to complete as you move through the interview process to determine if you're going to make it to the next round. And what she's saying is they gave her more than they gave to Emily for the same job. She said more assignments and critiques than her alter ego, despite identical qualifications. And here, and then a comment that says, a stranger told Jones that she wasn't getting any jobs because she wasn't corporate enough. Aaliyah says, while they're saying this, they're giving me compliments, but also critiquing me by saying, you need to be more corporate in order for people to see you. She told Vogue magazine. Jones felt that this message was a microaggression. Jones wasn't a newbie. She had 3 years of experience in product design and marketing. Yeah, baby, that makes you a newbie. 3, yeah, it's less than 5, it's less than 10. You're new. However, after spending months applying for dozens of jobs, she still struggled to land a role. Eventually, Jones wondered if her race played a part in this and wanted to try an experiment. Read the rest of the link in the bio. Got it. So Miss Thing decided to come for me because I said water is wet. Now tell me let me know in the comments, first of all. Let me know in the comments if you are surprised that Black names on resumes get fewer interviews. I was raised understanding that. Yes, somebody said I can be educated. I was raised understanding that, and I was named understanding that. Let me give you my backstory, and then I'll get further into this. So my name is Simone with a Y, and people are like, oh, why did you spell it with a Y? Well, my grandmother chose to spell my name with a Y because she already knew I was going to have bias that I would have to deal with as a Black woman. But she felt one way it could help is if I had a name where on my resume I can adjust it so that I would be ethnically ambiguous. They couldn't, not ethnically, gender. They couldn't tell if I was boy or girl. Then I would likely get more jobs. So on my resume, when I was in Cornell Law School, I was Cy Redwine. Cy Redwine. Honey, they thought I was a boy. They probably thought I was a Jewish boy, but they thought I was a boy. Do you think I cared? No. Because but I knew that from birth. Because I was like, why doesn't my name, in fact, I was like, why doesn't my name get spelled like everyone else? Because I hated the fact that, number one, my name was so unique. I could never get one of those like license plate keychains at the amusement park, like all my classmates. But then it was even worse that if I ever did find it, it sure wasn't spelled Simone with a Y. It's really like me and Simone Sanders. A few times I'll find it otherwise. But I was grateful to the fact that I was born knowing how to play the game. So what did I do? Well, I got the interviews. And then once I got the interviews, I would win the interview because I was talented. I had my stuff together just like Aaliyah does. And then once I got the job, I brought in all the rest of the Black folks. I brought in Natalie. I brought in Wilson. Where is Natalie now? Natalie is a partner at a law firm in the same state where I started practicing. Natalie is the former president of the Bar Association, of the Black Bar Association for the state. So what I'm simply saying is that these rules suck, but you get in, you get your role, and then you break down these barriers for others. So my response, my comment below, and I'm going to make this bigger and pull off this banner. Let me know in the chat below, are you surprised that Black names get fewer interviews? And here's the thing, she's got double, I don't know if she realizes it, she's got double the challenge, because not only is her name Black, but it sounds Muslim. So if you're extra racist, maybe you like Black people, maybe you don't want to hire any Muslims, then you've got two issues there. Or, oh God, maybe they're going to think she's a Black Muslim. Then they're really going to be terrified. I'm being facetious, but that's how they think, right? So here was my response that Miss Aaliyah is upset with. She's really upset, girl. Guys, she's really upset. So I said, this is why you pick your child's name carefully. Allie Jones would have had lots of interviews. She would have. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to change your name. You don't have to legally change your name. But if you want to play around in how she changed it all the way to Emily, Allie would have had the same results. And that is the truth. So she apparently thought I was trying to insult her. She did right. Bach. Hold on. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. So she made it a whole thing. Thank you for trying to make me famous. So she wrote, she went to LinkedIn. She said, oh, should I just change my name? Asking for a friend. And she wrote, ouch, that stung, LOL. Bless your cute little heart. Baby girl, you don't get it. You don't. I'm literally not trying to, I absolutely wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I'm agreeing with your statistics that you found. And I'm saying you didn't even have to go as far as Emily to get those results. You probably would have got it with Allie, because that's how this system works. But nothing about that says this is what's right. In fact, my response says, here you go, if I can make it bigger. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see this part. Yes, I'll read it to you guys. My response actually said, if you're going to post my comment, post the full post. Speaking from my own personal experience with an Ivy League degree, I went by Cy Redwine on my resume for years until I became my own boss. Now I have the power to hire all the Aaliyah Joneses that have come after me and have. My comment was, that was not the intent. How she said, ooh, ouch. My intent was not to hurt your feelings or dig at you and make it harder, make your life any harder than what your experiment had showed you've been through. It said that wasn't the intent. Sometimes you have to do what's required to get the job. And once you have it, change the rules. There you go. So my question to you guys is, what's your form of dealing with justice? Because also, do you feel like are you more of I get in, I get the position, and then I try to help change? Or are you like, hey, I don't even want to bother with those people in the first place? Because that's understandable too. But to give you context, I didn't have that luxury. When I was in school, when I was graduating, it was 2008. Economy had crashed. At least one of my parents was laid off. My job offer on the table was $160,000, which was going to be more than both of my parents combined. So what I didn't have, and this beautiful girl may have that luxury, what I didn't have is the luxury to be in my ego and be in myself, to say, I don't want to work for you because you're going to know I'm a Black girl and you're not going to, no. I was like, F y'all, I'm about to get this $160,000. Okay. I got the job. I'm going to get in there and then I'm going to do a great job, as I know she will in whatever role she has. And then I'm going to make sure other girls don't have to go through these kinds of things. Not only did I did that, but then I was able to help my family. I have a property. I bought a property during that time for my dad, which, because he was out of work, he didn't qualify for it. But now that property is worth almost $500,000. Okay. So you can have ego and you can sit there and know it all with your 3 years of experience. You can have ego, or you can say, This sucks. Let me change it. You can change it from the inside or you can change it from the outside. Let me show you somebody who also decided to change it from the inside. Just one moment. Just one little second real quick. Just one little second real quick. This is a learning channel. This is not a... In both ways of doing it right. Because let me tell you something. Part of the challenge of when you get into an organization that you feel like already hasn't accepted you, you may have a chip on your shoulder. You may just feel uncomfortable. So then it becomes a question of how long are you even going to end up lasting there? For me, in that economy, let me put this bigger. I need you to see my face when I tell this truth. For me, in that economy, I said, I don't give a... I'm about to take this $160,000 y'all about to throw at me with my panties on. Okay, because the strippers I know wasn't making that. You have to give me $160,000 with my panties on. I'm about to be able to get all this kind of stuff. Oh, I forgot to tell you the other thing I was able to do. I put my sister through college. Cy red wine. Me and my little resume tweak, taking off the O, the M, the O, the N, and the E. I put her through college. Where is she now? She got her MBA for free, full ride, UT Austin, top 5 MBA program in America. And now she owns her own national franchise. I'm not going to say which one, because I don't know, people are messy and they might try to send nasty emails to her business, but she owns her own national franchise, is doing quite well. So, RPC said, why is she unemployed with 3 years of experience at the same company? Oh, I don't know if it's the same. Oh, it may not be the same company, but I will tell you this. Here is my other point that I want to just illustrate. If you don't believe me because you don't like me, because maybe you're not receiving what I said, how I said it, which is okay too, right? I did write this back to somebody else. I said, I wrote back to somebody who was being nasty to me. I said, she was like, you are assimilating to what the man says. And I don't care nothing about that man. I will sue that man. I have sued that man. I move on from that man. The man, we talking about, you know what I'm talking about, the man. What I did say is someone who chose to play the game and move from me right here. Who is that? What does that say, y'all? I'm going to get my big face off the picture so you can see the picture that matters. Barry Obama. Barry Obama. I'm not the first one with this theory. Barry Obama. I love me some Barry. I love Barack even more. But let's be very clear. Because someone actually commented, an idiot on, let me see if I can find the little idiot. Bless his little heart. You don't know no better. You don't know no better. I don't want to do that. Okay. Where's the guy? Okay, you know what? I'm not going to post it because we don't need to go attack him. But there was an idiot that said, well, what about Barack Obama? And my point is, that's my point. He went by Barry. On the law review, he was Barry. In the yearbook, he was Barry. On his resume, he was Barry. He was Barry at Sidley Austin. Sidley Austin is the law firm that he started at. He didn't become Barack until he got that power. So all I'm saying is it's not great, and it's not how we want it to be for our children. But it's okay to take the rules, get in there, and twist it for how we want it to be. But you can't be complaining from outside of the club that the club needs to change their rules, because they're not listening to you, Bookie. They're not listening, Bookie. Now that you have your article and you've been in Vogue and stuff like that, I also noticed her page said creator. Oh, she's going to get some creator roles. She's going to get some creator jobs. And that actually might be a better fit than you, because when that person said you're not corporate and you took it to be a microaggression, here's the problem. Somebody saw promise in you. They weren't saying that to be ugly to you. They think you're awesome. And from what I've read, just the fact that you had the brilliance to even do the study as you had, and then find a way to release the results and share your story. I know that you're brilliant, but somebody saw promise in you. And let me give you an analogy. And I saw your situation in mind, which is why I commented, which was this. I will never forget at Career Services, I did practice interviewing with Career Services for Cornell Law. They made us all do practice interviewing again because the economy was so tough. People were getting their offers snatched back in 2008 due to the fact that the economy crashed, that Lehman Brothers and all Bear Stearns and all of those went bankrupt. It wasn't no jobs. Right? So I did the interview and she told me, or I did the practice interview. She said, okay, you're going to need to straighten your hair. And y'all know my hair is curly, like pretty big and curly, like Allie's is, right? Big curls. I need to stop calling her Allie. Aaliyah is her name. Pretty big and curly, like Aaliyah's curls. She told me I need to do that. See, Aaliyah, the Aaliyahs of the world would then go back to their Black actions, their Black Law Student Association. This lady told me I need to change my hair. Get. Everyone spam this person. Everyone cancel this person. They told me I need to cancel my hair. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that lady told me that. Baby, I put that thing in a bun so bad. I wasn't going to straighten all that hair. They're not worth the cost of me going to the hair straightener person. But I wrapped that buddy in a bun. I put it in a low pony with a braid. They couldn't see because I played the rule to get the job, then change the rule. This isn't rocket science. Hit that like button, y'all. Oh no, Tiffany said she had to drop out. Play the game. Oh, there we go. That's all. I just said it. Play the game to change the game. You can't. If you don't play, you can't change it. Being the best won't get you the job a lot of the time. Yeah, I'm sick of. Yeah, I will like, and I think it's the younger generation. They, especially if they don't know you, then it's difficult. But I'm so grateful. And when I talk with my law school mentees about this, oh, and by the way, if you're interested, if you think you want to go to law school, if you're already in law school, but you're having challenges with finding a job, I'm starting a mentorship group. Shoot me an email to attorneysimone@gmail.com. Let me know you're interested so that when I roll that out, I can let you know. But my point is simply, yeah, I think the current generation, they're so offended by even constructive feedback that they have difficulty seeing when it's the two. But let's see, the second week come to work. Yes, literally get your job and come. I got that job with my hair straightened or in a bun or whatever I had to do. I never wore my hair that way. My hair was always curly to work. Always. Because you know what? Once you get that job, like I said, that girl is probably brilliant. She's creative, etc. You will then make yourself so indispensable. They don't care about the rest. Oh, and then you could tell them about yourself in a corporate way. So that when it's hiring of the next group, you're like, oh, you're going to be like, oh, I'd love to be on the team that sifts through the resumes. Baby, the way I be pulling through all them resumes, where's Jamila? Jamila, put Jamila's resume over here on the good pile. Okay, Samira's going to be in the good pal. I need 3 Keishas. 3 Keishas. Give me a few Spellman girls. Come on. Put them over here. That's how you do it. That's how I would do it. You can do it whatever way that you want. But it doesn't mean that I'm trying to bring you down or attack you in any way. Whatever we say. You're smart to play the game to change the rules later. Thank you. I'm retired, but I passed. Tim's on young people. Thank you. But I'm also, I want to say this because I think a lot of parents like our age, we don't even think about it. We got so much going on. But you have college age students and you don't even think about it. So you may want to tell your child like, oh, wow, if you're having this challenge, maybe you want to it's just a nickname on your resume. You still who you are when you walk through that door. Your W-2 form still gonna be Aaliyah Jones, honey. They gonna pay you. Your checks are gonna cash Aaliyah Jones. All of that would be the same. Ooh, my name is Night Girl. Says me too. I was an HR coordinator. What are your thoughts? I definitely want to see them. You may have put them above. Yeah, Boz from Real Housewife did that. And they asked her if she was intentionally hiring Black women. And she said, yes. You know what? She's who I thought about. So it's my understanding she would go by Boz sometimes. Her first name is Bozima. Boz, you can't necessarily tell the gender. You can't tell the gender on that. And depending on whether it was her pre-married or post-married, but she is the epitome of knock that door open and let you guys in, because she is so talented. She could do that. So to Aaliyah Jones, I wish you the best. You got this, girly. Work it any way that you got it. You have created a platform for yourself. And now all we do know, one thing, I don't know you, but what I do know is when you get your opportunities, I'm certain that you will open doors for other ladies. And that's what it's all about. See you guys back at 8 o'clock Central. Yeah, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. We will talk Love is Blind. Bye, y'all.